about staying safe on the internet. Lots of people click on things that they shouldn't click on, and sometimes they don't update their systems, so their computers are vulnerable to security threats. And just want to show you a couple of things here. So some of the things that people are afraid to click on are these updates that come up all the time, the Adobe Flash, Adobe Reader, Java. Those keep popping up like every couple of weeks or so. And the reason they're popping up is because those are security updates for those programs that you use on your computer. And Java and Flash are both used for websites. If you ever go to Yahoo homepage and you see the news, it'll have the different slideshows of different news items. That's used in either Flash or Java. And if you don't have that on there, you won't see the news video there. So, and what happens is the virus places will make viruses for these different programs. So if you say, I'm never going to click on anything because I don't want to get a virus, then you actually could have some problems because you have out of date.
Yes, so when we get those and they pop up on your screen, then that is a legitimate thing to say update.
If it's Adobe Reader, Adobe Flash, or Java.
Okay.
Sometimes it might say, you might go to a website, if you already have some spyware or adware on your computer, you could go to a page and it'll pop up and say, you need Flash Pro to view this website. Now it's probably an ad to download some crummy software. So if it doesn't say Adobe Flash, then I wouldn't do it. And it's usually down here in the lower right, you'll see the little updates and things. And the Adobe Flash and Reader are both little red boxes. But if you go to a website and you see some big old flashing thing that says, you need to install Flash, and no, that's not something you want, because you're going to end up getting some program on there that is not going to help you. The other thing, this is the symbol for Windows 7 and above. So if you have that down in the lower right hand corner, and it says Windows Update needs to update, those are things you should update too, because Windows updates the security of the operating system itself.
I get a lot of things come up and say install Windows 8.
Yeah, Windows XP. Yeah, if you have Windows XP, Microsoft, you can still use it, but Microsoft's not supporting that software anymore. So you're getting an update from Windows saying that's obsolete.
So should we install Windows 8?
You're not going to be able to install. I mean, you can't update from Windows XP to Windows 8. If you bought the software, it's about $100 for the software. And it actually will do a fresh install, so you won't have all your programs and stuff anymore. But what I would suggest, if you're not going to get rid of your XP, that you have a third-party antivirus program and a third-party firewall. What we do sometimes when people don't want to get rid of their XP machines, we'll put Zone Alarm, firewall, and antivirus on it. It's a free program. And then it advised to use Firefox or Chrome rather than Internet. Because Internet Explorer on XP is version 8, and that's a very old browser. So it's not only going to be unsecure, it's also going to not work in certain situations. one way to see what your browser version is, you can go to the help. And by the way, browsers are either your Google Chrome as a browser, Firefox as a browser, and Internet Explorer as a browser. And these are the three icons.
Do you recommend any other browsers?
No, I mean, if you have XP, I would recommend either Firefox or Chrome. But other than that, they're all three good browsers, and sometimes some websites won't work on Chrome or it won't work on Internet Explorer. If you have a couple browsers, you just pop on to the other one. And I noticed, like Tri-County, sometimes if you're looking up something on your records in Tri-Counties on Internet Explorer, and you click on one of the, like to see what check it was or something, that pop-up won't work. And it could be a setting in Internet Explorer, but it's easier just to open Firefox and go in that way. So. But one way to see what version you have is go to Help, and you can see I have version 11, Internet Explorer 11. So if you have XP, you have 8. So that's 3 versions ago. So if you have XP, I would use Firefox or Chrome. It's preference, mostly preference on browsers. One of the things is there's a lot of ways to get viruses. A lot of people say, well, how do I not get a virus? One way is to have an antivirus program, but that doesn't make sure you don't get a virus. Antivirus programs are kind of like having your doors locked and having a alarm system. Someone can still get in, right? And they can knock out your alarm system, turn it off, or whatever. So that's antivirus. It tries to keep it out, but it's not perfect. In fact, one of the reasons is the virus companies are building new viruses every day. So the antivirus companies are behind the 8 ball. You know, they have to come up every time there's a new threat. They have to put that in their system. So, but that's a misconception. You know, the other thing too is, like, if you had all your doors locked and someone knocked on the door and you opened it, the sales guy would say, "Come on in," and then they stole all your stuff. It's kind of like having Norton on your system, and then you go to a website and you say it's okay to download, right? You go to download something and it says, "Whoa, wait a minute, you sure you want to do this?" And you say, "Yeah, I want that program," right? And you install it, and all of a sudden you got the virus. And that's because you said it was okay. So, and Norton and McAfee and all the others, they're not going to stop everything.
Question. What do you think about the internet providers' security programs that they offer?
Well, so like AT&T will provide McAfee, and they're okay. You know, I use Microsoft Security, which is a free program. It's a little house here. So that's an antivirus program, and that comes from Microsoft. If you have XP, though, I would probably that's why we put the Zone Alarm, because they're going to not support it next year. So, but that's free. And like I say, most of the time when people get stuff, it's because what they do, not because what antivirus program they have. A lot of times they'll come in and they'll say, "Well, my internet's not working, and this isn't working, and that's not working." And I say, "Well, we'll check, make sure there's no viruses, and then we'll see what's going on." And they'll say, "Well, I don't have any viruses because I have Norton," right? So you really have to watch out what you do on the internet, especially. Like there's a few things here like phishing emails, attachments, and clicking on links in your attachments in your emails. Go ahead.
If you open an email, just in opening it, can you get a virus, or do you have to click on something?
Most of the time you have to click on something, yeah. I've never seen it where you just open the email and it does something to you. But
What if somebody clones somebody else's email address and they send it to a whole bunch of people? Even clicking on it, does that do something or let them know that you exist and you're real and?
Sometimes it lets them know, yeah, if they have software that can tell if you've opened it or not, the email itself. But that just tells them that they know that's a good address.
But can they get to your address book by doing that?
No.
Oh,
And let's see, they also, let me just show you, this is an email that was in my email box. And a lot of times people say, well, it wasn't an email because I never open anything unless it's from somebody I know. But like Boris said, that email can be spoofed with, it can actually say your email address that it was from you. And you look at it and it says, well, how could that be, you know? I've had things that send out, I've seen it come in and say it was from my administrator on my server, for my email, and I know it wasn't. So, one thing, and so the other thing is, like, if Boris has a virus and and if it attaches to her email and starts sending these emails to all her friends and her address, she might have 200 people in her address book. 200 people get it and they go, oh, well, that's Boris, that's okay to, it says, go ahead and click on this attachment. And one way you can tell too, if it's from a friend and all it says is, here it is, or open this, you know, short sentences, I would just reply back to them and say, did you mean to send this to me?
yes.
And most of the time they'll say, I didn't send it. No, I didn't send anything to you. It's like, well, you may not have known you sent it, but you did. Your computer sent it. So what it is like a little robot inside your computer that just goes through your address book and starts sending all the emails to everybody.
Mark?
I had a question about when we forward things, a lot of people send me things and they don't take off, they will clean up previous forwards, and I heard that that's where they get all our names so that we get into our emails, and we should wipe it out before we forward.
Yeah, you should always do that anyway. You should forward, if you're going to forward emails, a lot of times everybody's address is in there. And for one, a lot of people don't want their address shown to everybody else. I mean, I might be your friend, but that doesn't mean I want to be on a list from everybody around the lake. And then I start getting their jokes and stuff too, you know. So, yeah, if you forward, just really, when you forward something, you should put it in the blind copy instead of the CC. A lot of people just put all the email addresses in the to area in your email, and then so everybody can see all the email addresses. And it's kind of like phone numbers. You don't just give your phone number to everybody around the lake. You know.
So you're saying put it in the CC or put it somewhere?
Blind, it's called blind copy, so it's BCC instead of putting it in the to or the CC. Because the CC is just carbon copy. So all those addresses will be in the email when you send it to somebody. And then sometimes people might be forwarding viruses. They might think, oh, this is funny, check it out. And they don't know they just got the virus after they opened the funny joke or whatever it is. So this one right here, now this says it's from PayPal. And if you look up here, it says no reply at secure.accounts.com. It says online PayPal. And the actual email address could say paypal.com, and it's still fake, so you don't know for sure. But sometimes you can just read the sentences, and a lot of times, you know, they're bad grammar or they don't make a lot of sense. And if you look at this one, it says, Dear Costumer. So that's kind of a clue right there that it's probably not real. And it says, we regularly check activity of the PayPal screen, whatever that means. And it says, we request the information you have to the following reason. And then it just starts a sentence with, is the final reminder to log into PayPal as soon as possible. So the sentences are broken up and there's just bad grammar and bad spelling.
So that's hoax.
That's a hoax, yeah. So what this right here says go to your account, right? Okay, so that's one thing where people say, well, I didn't click on anything.